Hi, Sophie. Thank you so much for coming to our talk show. How are you today?
Hi, Max. I'm very well. I'm so delighted to be here. So happy to be connected with you.
My pleasure, man. And thank you very much for coming. So before talking about your startup, shall we give an introduction to yourself?
Absolutely. Well, I am from the Philippines. I am based in Doha, in Qatar, in the Middle East. I'm the founder of a marketplace that helps early stage founders hire vetted and trained for startups remote talent that is budget fit. And I've been working with startups for the last 10 years. And I'm also a Lean Stack certified coach.
That's great. Let's start talking. That's a very good topic because anyway, in Equity Match, we have startups as well. And
Right.
hiring is a big problem for each of them. It's costly and it's very time consuming. So let's start talking about how do you help founders to find the right person?
Absolutely. So in the years that we have been working, my co-founders and I are all Lean Stack certified coaches and also strategizer certified. Um, one of us, so there are three co-founders, one of us has been running an incubator and has been running programs. We're all passionate about helping startups, and through the years and having worked with early stage teams, we've seen the struggle when you go to Upwork and or Fiverr or other outsourcing marketplaces to hire talent that is budget fit. You end up wasting a lot of time screening and then training and then onboarding talent and then ending up with them either not getting it, the mindset of an early stage founder, or you end up uh, just essentially not not finding the right fit. But what founders fail to understand usually is that, particularly in the early stages, is even if they're very good, you can't do everything on your own. So you always have to delegate. And that's a struggle. So when we're training them, it's not the knowledge and the mindset. The tools are available. Equity Match blog, for example, is putting in a lot of effort to help educate founders. But what's not available is a way to help you delegate the headache given the resources that you have or the limited resources that you have.
I do agree. I mean, again, hiring is complicated, and running a startup at the very beginning even more complicated. Now, how do you help them exactly? What's the process for them when they come to you, and why exactly they come to you?
Well, so the way that we help them is when they come to the platform, they create a profile, and the way that they fill out their profile is just as they're filling out a lean canvas for their startup. So that profile is saved, and then they go ahead and post a request. This is today the platform that we have. They post a request, and then the startups, this new breed of talent that we have. So the training that we give founders, we give freelancers. So these freelancers that are on the platform that we vetted and trained, they go and pick up the request, and then they bid against it. And when they bid against it, they already have, these freelancers are not just any freelancers, they've gone through training. So they kind of share the mindset of the early stage founder. So they come in and help them build remote teams or come up with solutions. Sometimes a founder comes in and says, I want to develop a mobile app. But then this freelancer, the touter, comes in and sees from the lean canvas that it's too early and too risky to build a mobile app. What if I bid and say, probably you would make better use of running customer discovery sprints, for example, and building a light MVP. Say, oh, let's go do a WordPress website instead of a mobile app and test your IB at first. So that's essentially, in a nutshell, how we're different and how we help them.
That's a good concept. How do you find these freelancers, and how do you make sure that they are the right one?
And right now, the channels, so we're also very young. We're just over a year old, And the channels that we have for acquiring these freelancers are the top universities in the Philippines. We work with student organizations, the alumni there, and also those who have worked with startups already. We have found in the series of sprints that we have run that those with an entrepreneurial mindset, and we do that with, we do have a screening process when they come in. We have psychometric tests that they take, and then that helps us. We're kind of like Tinder for startups, if you may. So these certain the hacker, hustler, and designer mix doesn't always come with sometimes solo founder. So a technical founder is a good match for a talent that is more, let's say, outward going.
I
And
agree.
then the more outward going would be matched with a technical freelancer who might be able to also, again, help them execute with the lean mindset.
What about the business model? How do you generate revenue?
Today, as a marketplace, we take a 30%, we have a 30% rate take rate on every transaction that is generated within the platform. But we're also exploring other revenue channels, but now we're focused on that.
So when you say transactions, what actually is sold on the platform?
What's sold in the platform is the hiring. So it's either a fixed rate or an hourly based project that the startup team or the founder would hire for. So, or build a team, for example, founder comes in and says, I would need to run a series of discovery sprints over the next quarter. And for that, I would hire an account manager, a social media manager, a graphic designer, or I would need to incorporate, then that's a fixed rate project. And then we do 30% on top of that.
So more than startup running a venture, we are talking about when I had to create or give the goal to a project. This is where I find the most on your platform. Where these funders are coming from now? You are the company is located in Philippines or in Middle East?
Everywhere. So my co-founders and I are based here. The rest of the team, there's 14 of us already. The rest of the team are global. Our legal counsel is based in the United States, and then our development team is based in the Philippines, and so is the operations team. But Taotter is registered as a Delaware C corporation.
So in terms of market, as you can't address all the marketing one day, where are you starting? Which is the market you're targeting today?
We now are servicing, we've serviced in the last year 41 startups based in 6 different countries, and the channels for us to acquire them have been the incubators that we participated in programs. Last year we were in Y Combinator Startup School that gave us access to 12,000 founders globally, and then we've also participated in Founder University, and we've been fortunate to have been selected to pitch Jason Calacanis live on YouTube. We did that Q2 of last year, and also we went to Web Summit in Lisbon. So where the startups are, we come in, and now we're with Equity Match.
Thank you. We help your platform to be capable also to empower startups, because we support so many, and any day, any week, we get many on board. So this is how we do this, our mission, try to make the life of founders easier in somehow, getting where they want to get. Now, you are how many founders? You are 3 co-founders?
3 co-founders.
What about all the idea belongs to you, and how is it developed? Are you developing yourself, or you have been done in outsourcing all the platform?
One of the co-founders is technical, so and then the other co-founder and I, we have a deep understanding of user experience design and design thinking. So the platform is developed in-house. We've expanded the development team. Our CTO right now is an angel investor. So he came in, we hired him, and as a consultant initially, he got the hang of things. He liked what we were doing. He put in a ticket.
There's something great. It's beautiful when you hire someone. Actually, you tell to someone, come on board. He believes so much. They even invested money. It is a very great thing, and I wish to all the founders happening something similar.
Thank you.
What about your competitors today? Who are them?
Well, there are several in the market. It's a noisy space. Primarily, top players are freelancer.com, Upwork, Fiverr, people per hour, what may have you. The list is endless, but none of them are focused on startups. There is one that is focused on startups, but on the growth stage. And what we have found is, unfortunately, the sad reality is most startups fail. Most ideas and products in general fail. We want to help de-risk that. And we have not seen an outsourcing marketplace that is specifically focused on helping de-risk these early stage founders. And our retention rate right now is 85%. And the founders that we've worked with, we've seen them grow and evolve, grow the team that they've started with just one assistant from us, and then got a developer. The MVP has evolved, and we've seen them grow and eventually raise funds with us. And most interestingly, we've explored a model with 2 angels, wherein an angel investors come in and opened a credit line with us as an investment. And through that credit line, he's gotten visibility on where the startup founders' money went.
Great. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
What's your vision? What's your vision for your Taotter.com?
The vision for Taotter is, well, it's not just, I know I've spoken a lot about startups. I'm very passionate about it. I love entrepreneurs, and I've read some of your blogs and listened to your talks too, and I know you are too, so I'm in this already. But at the same time, coming from a third world country with a lot of love for the Philippines, and also somebody who's been an expatriate for a very long time, the vision for Taotter is to empower entrepreneurs and spread the word about entrepreneurship and its power, not just to the founders, but also to the freelancers. Because when they come in, these talent that we're training, we want to imbibe, as like kind of get into their subconscious and tell them that, hey, you're coming in and you're helping. You're not just doing, a mundane freelancing job. I'm not saying freelancing online is mundane, but you're helping a team or a founder, somebody who's passionate with a purpose. You're not just working with a purpose. Eventually, you're going to get the hang of it through the highs and the lows and the mistakes that the team and the founder you're working with is having. And maybe you're going to come in and say, I want to be an entrepreneur too and start my own startup. Or when they build remote teams, they make money out of it too. So in the model beyond that, when they freelance, these people that we train and certify and vet, when a founder that they work with wants to hire and build a remote team, they make money off of that remote team because they take responsibility for it too.
What scares the most? What makes you not sleeping at night? Because we know perfectly that startups fail, and you run a business very early, so you must be very cautious and very careful. Where is your focus, and do not make that mistake and make sure that I can overcome that difficulty?
Well, I try to make sure that I that actually not just I, the whole core team tries to make sure that we are always in touch with our customers and not blinded by building a product or this platform that we've kind of imagined in our heads that it's going to work. We're very lean in our approach, so we keep the discipline of always understanding and analyzing, not just quantitatively, because the numbers sure tell us a lot about the business, but they don't tell us why. So our focus is always on listening to both sides of the marketplace that we're trying to build. We're always doing, we're big on customer engagement. We're big on building community for the talent that we're onboarding and that we're working with and trying to upskill. So it's about, the focus is to avoid failure. The focus is always being on the ground with our customers.
Are you for raising today for your startup?
Yes, sir, we are.
How much?
We are raising $400,000. We bootstrapped our way to $120,000 GTV in the last period. And today we're raising $400,000. We already received, just today some stuff came in. So we've received 93K of it. 120 is committed. And so we still have the round open.
I mean, why investors, and I would like to close our beautiful talk today with this, do you have any one very strong sentence and tell the investors why they should invest in your startup, in your team, in yourself?
Well, as an early stage founder, there's a lot of uncertainty, but why investors should invest in us is because we are in tuned with what we're doing. We care about what we're doing. And if one thing does not work, we're definite that we're going to make it work and find a way to make it work.
Sophie, thank you so much for coming to BizTalk. It's been a very pleasure, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you.